There has been a lot to love about Triple H's run WWE, with him taking over as head of WWE Creative back in 2022. Since then, Vince McMahon has steadily been pushed away from power, leading to a new look WWE, which is thriving from both a business sense and in terms of quality of the product. However, not everything is delivered in the desired way for the company. When it comes to certain storylines, Triple H's creative direction has been a letdown, with some poor writing, inconsistent booking and a lack of coherent storytelling. While some of these storylines weren't ever as bad as they were under Vince McMahon, the higher expectations that fans now have has led to some really disappointing angles, feuds and storylines. Welcome to Honor Wrestling Club, and in today's video we'll be counting down the 10 worst WWE storylines since Triple H took over creative. If you want to check out the most positive ones of the best storylines since Triple H took over, be sure to check out our previous video where we covered just that. However, if you are new here, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and click the subscribe button and the notification bell to make sure you never miss out on any of the fun content we produce here at Honor Wrestling Club. Now, without further ado, let's crack on with the list with number 10, Cody Rhodes' rivalry with Shinsuke Nakamura that dragged on for too long in WWE. However, following multiple losses, it was clear that WWE were not set on pushing him any higher. Fans were left with a collective groan. Everything about this feud was super predictable, with Nakamura using his mist, attacking Rhodes, but all the while odds. And in number 9, we have Edge's battle with the Judgment Day, which was drawn out. The early iteration of the Judgment Day left a lot to be desired, and it wasn't long until the leader Edge was booted out. Under Triple H, Edge feuded with the Judgment Day, and it was going fine at first, until it wasn't. For months and months on end, a characterless Edge looked for revenge on the Judgment Day, getting the upper hand on every single occasion. He and Beth Phoenix defeated Royal Rumble winner Rhea Ripley and Finn Balor, and then Edge defeated Balor at WrestleMania. This was an awful move, considering that Edge didn't have any plans after this, and Balor was set to become a world title challenger, and you brought back the Demon, just have the Demon crush Brood Edge. Jeez. In number 8, we have Karrion Kross's return feud against Drew McIntyre was a dud. Karrion Kross was one of many wrestlers brought back to the company under Triple H, and he returned in a main event segment on SmackDown, targeting Drew McIntyre and appearing to set his sights on then Universal Champion Roman Reigns. However, Kross's promos were terribly written, meaning the fans lost interest very quickly. Kross was just like any other spooky heel character, and his matches with McIntyre had no heat about them. Their pay-per-view matches were fine but uninspiring, and the whole feud served very little purpose for either man ultimately. In number 7, everything about the Final Testament versus the Pride has been underwhelming. Another poor Karrion Kross feud here, really starting to feel sorry for the guy. This time though, it comes from his faction, the Final Testament, taking on Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits of the Pride. This, big air quotes here, faction warfare feud has been very basic, with no creative storytelling. The constant switch in heel and babyface dynamic of the Pride has been severely disappointing, and it has done no favours for their momentum. In a way, I do sort of feel a bit bad for WWE, because it's not really their fault. They wanted them to be a heel, but the fans refused to boo Bobby, and then they were just forced to go, yeah, they're babyfaces now. Yeah. But back to this feud. The fact that this match got booked for an otherwise incredibly strong on-paper WrestleMania card was a surprise, and you can check out how it fares against the other matches from WrestleMania in another video we've done on the channel. Be sure to go check that out after this one. In number 6, we have Ronda Rousey fending off Shotzi was not a good feud. The SmackDown Women's Championship reign in 2022 of Ronda Rousey did not go down well, and that is an understatement. Her character work was all over the place. She was handed no favours with the content of her promos, and she was matched up with workers that didn't bring out the best of her. The build to her match with Shotzi wasn't terrible per se, but it wasn't overly impressive. Their poor match at Survivor Series, however, is what really pushed this feud into the worst of Triple H's time booking WWE, And the fact that they sacrificed this Ronda Rousey run for Sasha Banks is baffling to me. In number 5, we have the three-way feud between Bianca Belair, Asuka and Charlotte Flair, which was, to use a pleasant term, poor. On paper, you'd think that this WWE Women's Championship feud would be top tier. However, the confusing booking of all their characters, where it was unclear who exactly you were meant to cheer and boo for, the frustrating non-finishes all the time, the bland brawls, and the poor storytelling led to this being severely disappointing. Don't let WWE Slammy Award nominations fool you. The triple threat match at SummerSlam was poor, with it feeling overly choreographed and messy. Io's cash-in afterwards was a nice moment though, so you know, thumbs up for that. In number 4, we have Brock Lesnar vs Cody Rhodes, which didn't achieve its expectations. On the Raw after WrestleMania 39, Brock Lesnar turned heel and attacked Cody Rhodes in what was like the only thing to happen on that episode of Raw. Like, if you didn't see that episode of Raw, you really didn't miss much. A big issue with this feud, however, was it wasn't really explained ever why Lesnar did this, which made the whole thing feel awkward. Their matches were repetitive, which followed the typical Lesnar formula, and in the end, Rhodes scored the 2-1 victory in their feud at SummerSlam 2023, in what was admittedly a very, very good match. However, that doesn't mean that the feud wasn't predictable, the content wasn't especially enthralling, and this could have caused damage to Rhodes' momentum. However, thankfully, it didn't, and he managed to ride this thing into the main event of WrestleMania. In number 3, we have fans that did not care about Ronda Rousey versus Shaina Baszler. Hello Ronda, nice to see you here again. This feud should have come in Ronda Rousey's first WWE run, but instead it came when both women were struggling in terms of momentum, connection with the audience, and Rousey was done with the company. Baszler's turn on Rousey and the subsequent booking led to two tweeners, with fans not sure who were they supposed to root for. In the end, they chose not to root for anyone, which honestly is the correct decision here. Their promo exchanges were incredibly awkward, and their match had one of the most silent crowds of the whole year in 2023, because it's fake MMA, and wrestling fans really don't care about fake MMA. They don't care about MMA, like proper stuff. In number 2, we have Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy felt like a complete mess. Bray Wyatt's return in 2022 went well at first with some incredibly subtle storytelling, thrilling promos and a great presentation. However, the longer things developed in the story with the mysterious Uncle Howdy, it was clear that WWE had no direction. It wasn't clear whether Wyatt and Howdy were allies or enemies. Wyatt's match with LA Knight was a disaster, and a feud with Bobby Lashley was something no one really wanted to see. Thankfully though, the work Uncle Howdy's been doing recently has been fantastic, and this Wyatt 6 program seems to be going in the right direction. Speaking of the Wyatt 6, we have one of their members here at number 1, with Dex Lumis versus The Miz, which had zero direction and went on for way too long. Dex Lumis was brought back soon into Triple H's time in charge, and he set his sights on stalking The Miz, and this started out A, incredibly creative, and B, incredibly awesome, because this was all in the subtle details that some fans may miss, but those hardcore fans paying attention, you know, you're getting rewarded. Well done. However, after a while, there was no direction whatsoever, and it became tiring. WWE did not know how to end this feud, and no one got a push off the back of it. This only served to damage the momentum of Johnny freaking Wrestling, who was saddled back with Lumis. Thankfully though, it appears as though all three men have managed to recover, with Gargano reforming DIY and currently being tag team champions on SmackDown, The Miz winning the Raw tag team titles at WrestleMania, and as we mentioned, Dexter Lumis being part of the awesome Wyatt 6 presentation. However, there you have it, there's our list. So what do you think? What do you think is the worst story that Triple H has booked in his new creative run so far? Be sure to let me know in the comments down below. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, click the subscribe button and the notification bell to make sure you never miss out on any of the fun content we produce here at Honor Wrestling Club. and be sure to check out those videos we recommended to you. Go on, you'll enjoy them, and share them with your friends as well. They'll enjoy them too. However, until next time, I'd just like to thank you for watching and welcome to the club. See ya!